How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you all a couple games of ranked seasons. I'm going to be trying to make a push towards championship series and unlock those rewards. I also have some clips of some examples that I was kind of talking a little bit about in my previous video. If you guys did not check it out, it was what I would like to see improved on in MLB The Show 20 from the last couple of years. In MLB The Show 18 and 19, I definitely think that I have some examples in this video as well. But I wanted to just kind of give you guys some good gameplay. I haven't really tested out this Tom Seaver too often, and when I did, he got shelled. So if you guys watched the previous couple games of ranked seasons, my pitching has been pretty bad. But this is one quick example I wanted to show you guys right away. Just fouling balls off that are below the zone, good pitches, and with good feedback, and just something that I really think that could be tuned down in next year's game. I wanted to provide this example for you all. That was a changeup low in the zone. He definitely got a check swing on that one. But, I mean, to make an attempt at that, you would think that he would get a full swing. Sometimes in last year's game, you would tend to see more full swings on pitches that were, like, way out of the zone. But he's able to foul some pitches off. And anytime this happens, you're expecting to give up a hit. You're expecting to give up a home run. I mean, there I threw pretty good changeup. I wanted it low and away. It wasn't quite thrown exactly where I wanted it, even though I had pretty good feedback. But as you can see, multiple pitches back to back to back with all good feedback. That last one wasn't the greatest pitch, but a few spots I'm missing here. I have no idea how that 12-6 curveball was over the middle of the plate when I put it low and away. I had blinking good feedback. I missed the hoop barely to the left. I just have no idea what to do sometimes. And those types of situations don't happen every at-bat, but when they do, it really makes an effect on your pitch count. That happened in the first inning there, so I threw an extra like 10 pitches to Willie Mays and then gave up a home run. So luckily we are able to get a base hit with Honus Wagner. I don't want to talk too much about the negative things. I just wanted to point some of the things out that I notice while I play the game as well. I try and do this as much as possible while I live stream. At the same time, I really enjoy this game. I have had a lot of success playing it. I've had a lot of fun playing it. And I think that is the majority of the success. I think when you're playing a video game, and win or lose, if you're having a good time, and you're having a good time even when you are losing, then I think then that's a good game, and that's a lot of fun to play. There we get the 2-run homer. I paused the game. I felt like he was going to throw a fastball or a cutter up and inside, and I hit a 2-run shot. He rage quit right there, so we move up to about 792. I was at like 760 to start this video. Got a good amount of points as that opponent was rated higher than me. But we're going to go ahead and hop into this next gameplay. We are facing the brand new 99 overall finest Gerrit Cole. So this is something that I talked a little bit about in my previous couple videos as well. Is this card worth it? I definitely think that he's a good pitcher. But to collect all of those cards for this Gerrit Cole, I don't necessarily think that that's worth it. I think if he was a position player in this slot at collect 20-something finest players, then absolutely. But for a pitcher that you're not necessarily going to get selected on the mound all the time, I don't think it's worth it in terms of value. I think that there's better pitchers out there. There's the Jack Flaherty that you can get that is not as good as the Gerrit Cole, obviously, but he's way cheaper. Obviously, if you have Gerrit Cole, you might have Jack Flaherty as well. I'm looking to try that card out. So if we can win this game and get into championship series, I might be able to pull some diamonds. You get a free live series diamond for doing so, and then some stubs for making it in. So I might be able to get some finest cards that way, or at least try one out. But Bob Feller is definitely, I think he might be the best pitcher in the game. I've used Kershaw quite a bit, and Kershaw has had the most success for me. I've used him since the game came out and stuff like that. Since I was a bronze level, actually no, it was like a silver level 25, something like that. I picked him second after Ichiro. But I've used Kershaw throughout the entire year, easily thrown 30-plus games with him. And the only person to beat me so far using Bob Feller is JBD. If you don't know who JBD is, he's like a top 5 player. I played him in a tournament, and he ended up destroying Bob Feller. I think he might have mercy ruled me in that game, but that's the only loss I have with him on the record. So hopefully we can continue that streak going. And, I mean, anytime you face a really good hitter, they're going to hit whoever you have on the mound regardless. So I think that this pitcher is someone that you want on the mound against a top player. This guy, I mean, he had a good record, 140 and 68, something like that. And the previous guy also had a pretty good record. But the main thing about getting these good outings, or hoping to get, I mean, I got to quit in the last game, hoping to get a good outing from Bob Feller in this one, is that it allows my bullpen to rest. I had some pretty crazy games that were scoring a lot of runs, and I was able to try and get a quit in that last one. That helps the stamina. But in this situation, this game right here, I know that there's no wind in online games, and this one specifically, it felt like there was wind, even though it says there's no wind, and it says like it just felt like the ball doesn't carry, and that's something that I'm still kind of questioning a little bit as well. Something that I would like to see in next year's game is that regardless if it's a major league stadium, minor league stadium, the ball carries the same. Obviously, the elevation plays a big factor in this game. But I think wind should be completely neutral, and we don't really know like if there is actually wind taken out of the game. I know it's not visually there, but is it still in the game somehow? I know that some people have said that, and it's just something that I've questioned throughout. But anyway, Bob Feller is pitching a no-hitter up until this point. He's throwing a no-hitter, and I only have a couple hits myself. No runs scored. I got caught stealing. Very first hit of the game, I tried to steal second with Honus Wagner. Got caught stealing. Same type of thing happened in the very first game as well. I tried to be aggressive early on, and I really didn't get a good jump on either stolen base attempts. So no runs so far here in the fourth inning. I definitely think that both teams could have some runs. We've squared up the ball. The opponent squared up the ball. And here we go with another foul ball at bat. I mean, every now and then you're going to get one of these at bats where they start to foul off everything. Luckily, I was able to get him with the changeup, and you never know in that situation. Sometimes he's going to hit that pitch lunging forward, and sometimes he's not. But this is why I think Bob Feller is the best pitcher in the game, or one of the best pitchers, is because of his pitch repertoire. He throws 100 miles an hour. He throws a little bit harder than Clayton Kershaw, and then his changeup is really slow. His changeup is slower than Clayton Kershaw's, which I think is very effective. As I mentioned earlier just now, I mean, he hits the lunging changeup there. But definitely throwing him off balance with these pitches. It also sets up the 12-6 curveball. The thing about Kershaw in comparison to Feller is he has the really slow 12-6 curve, and Bob Feller has the sharper breaking 12-6 curve. I think that can be really effective depending on the player that you're going up against. So I think that either way, if you have both pitchers, Kershaw and Bob Feller, you're in good shape. I definitely think Feller is better than Nolan Ryan, or some of the other 99 pitchers that we get, Walter Johnson, Justin Verlander. I think this is Gerrit Cole as well. I felt like I was squaring up the ball here at times. I mean, I left some of the at-bats out of this game, and but I felt like I was squaring it up. I had an opportunity there, back-to-back base hits. I felt like I sat on that one. I got a couple good okays in these situations, and also baseball is a game of inches. I mean, just there, I just barely missed the foul ball. Could have been a double off the wall if I sat back on it, or swung a little bit earlier in that situation. Don't really know. It said I was late. I had good timing. Don't know if I needed to wait back on it further. Sometimes you get those very late hits that stay in play. It's tough to analyze the feedback sometimes because it can be random. It can be a little bit random, and that's just the way the game is. And as we move later on into this game, I feel like both teams could score a lot of runs. I mean, as we move later on into the game, the stamina, the energy starts to deplete. Confidence matters a lot, and starting pitchers tend to get hit around a lot more as the game moves later on into the later innings. But anyway, so far he's still throwing a no-hitter. I mean, bottom of the fifth inning, 2 down, and we get the strikeout there on the changeup. The opponent was really struggling with that changeup in this game, so I wanted to go to it, but I didn't want to overuse it, if that makes sense, because sometimes they will just go ahead and hang the pitch right over the middle of the plate. You really want to be careful with how much you use a specific pitch, even if he has the confidence maxed out. But I got a base hit with Honus Wagner. I ended up trying to steal once again. The opponent moved with the slide step on the second pitch. He knew I was going. He definitely knew I was going, and threw me out there. But we get another base hit up the middle with Ted Williams. So I definitely had an opportunity to score a couple runs in this one. We would have the bases loaded, or that may have driven in a run if Honus Wagner was still on base. But we get a nice late base hit rewarded into the gap with Lou Gehrig. That is going to score the first run of the ball game. And now I know I have to score another run or two in this situation because the opponent is going to respond. It's just the way the game is. As soon as he comes up to the plate, he will be able to hit the baseball. He doesn't have any hits at this point, but I know for a fact that he's just going to square the ball up. He has been throughout the entire game, and he should have some hits. I just felt like we weren't getting rewarded with high exit velocities, good squared up hits as often as we should have. There were a lot of good okay contact in this game. But just as I was saying, the opponent hits a home run. I knew it. As soon as I threw that changeup, I knew that was going to be crushed. It was below the zone. It was still a decent pitch. But Ted Williams almost went yard earlier in the game. He was the leadoff batter. and he sends one deep. So just as I say, I mean, it always happens that way. It always seems to happen. If there aren't any runs scored as we move later in the game, whoever scores first, then the opponent has to respond right away. It's a kind of a momentum switch or a momentum swing in the game. But anyway, we do get the pop-up. We do get out of the inning. He brought in Wade Davis. I felt like Gerrit Cole is a pretty good pitcher. I felt like at the same time I was on him. I mean, I was squaring the ball up. I was able to read the pitches, pick the ball up out of his hand, and hit the ball well. I didn't get rewarded at times. I mean, I was waiting for that previous pitch with Roberto Alomar. I didn't even move the PCI, and I still lined out to left field or even hit a shallow pop-up. But anyway, top of the 8th inning, we need to get something going here. We need to get some insurance runs. Honus Wagner is leading it off with an early base hit, so sometimes I scored the ball up with good timing, and then I got rewarded with a late hit. An early hit is just the randomness in the game, and I know I'm talking about it a lot in this video, but I just wanted to provide more examples, and I just want the game to be the best it can be. In this situation with Ted Williams, I missed that pitch 100%. That's the exact result that should have happened right there. I missed that one. I was under it. As you can see, good week. I was below it with the PCI, and I knew I popped that one up. So now I need to capitalize on this situation. We have a guy on second base, a leadoff double with Willie Mays up at the plate, the best hitter in the game probably, and I'm looking for a fastball. I'm waiting for a fastball. He threw it to Ted Williams, and I missed it. I can't afford to miss another one. So I'm waiting for it. If he throws it, I'm going to try and square it up. And there he throws the cutter. I did square it up, and that's going to be sent out for a home run. But like I said before, I mean, no lead is safe in this game. Once I tacked on those 2 runs of insurance, I figured that this opponent was going to respond right away. I feel like he's going to at least score 1 run in this inning if he gets something going. And right away, his pinch hitter for the pitcher, Tony Gwynn, hits a triple, and just like that, his second hit of the ball game, and he's in business for scoring the second run of the game. So kind of an interesting situation. I went with a mound visit because I knew that would allow me to get the gold bar of confidence, pitching this late in the game with a 3-run lead, 1 out already in the inning after giving up a triple. You go to the mound visit, you get the extra boosted confidence, and hopefully you can locate a little bit better in this situation. I'm going to let my pitcher come all the way set and try and locate this exact pitch on the inside corner. Having a little bit of a difficulty right here trying to close this game out, but also because Bob Feller is at 100 pitches at this point in the game. We're facing Jose Reyes, who's a really good hitter. I felt like the opponent was on the changeup, on the off-speed a little bit more as we moved on into this game. He hit the 12-6 curveball into the gap with Tony Gwynn, the previous batter, and then hit the home run earlier on a changeup low in the zone. So I felt like I would go with the fastball, especially facing some of these guys. He was kind of earlier in the game with Chipper Jones, though. He was swinging for a fastball, so I'm going to go with the changeup. I was able to get him with the changeup a couple times on a strikeout earlier, and we end up getting the rollover to first base. Make it into the championship series, about 815 rating, 810, somewhere in there, and we are going to have a diamond reward in this video. This is the 8th time I've made it to the championship series, and I believe this is the 3rd time I will be earning myself a live series diamond. It's an 85 to, I believe, 94. I think you can pull Mike Trout from this. I've never pulled anything but an 85, and I think I might have just got Francisco Lindor, so we'll see what happens. But I wanted to try and give you guys as much information in this video as possible. It would be cool if we could get Finest Lindor from this pack, but I know there's no chance, and I don't even know if Lindor has that many home runs. It's not. It's Jose Ramirez, and that's going to do it for this video, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. I'm College Lefty, and peace out.